How's it going, everybody?
You know who it is.
My name is Sunwoo, and in today's video I want to once again share my love for the Analog 4 by Elektron, because I just got it out the box and 5 minutes later I had a groove going that I really like the sound of. And yeah, that's the topic of today's video. The Analog 4 being a really cool groove box, and I think sounding very nice. Because it only has a limited amount of tracks, I think it's often easy to overlook it as a groove box, but also the fact that it has only 4 tracks maybe helps it to make the sound gel together better, because you can't overcrowd your track as easily. Before we talk any further, let's have a listen to the pattern. By no means is it a finished track or anything like that, but I think it's going in a nice direction, and as I said, I like the sound of it. This is the basic pattern. And maybe we could add a lead on that. Something random. Anyway, as I said, it's nothing finished, but I really already like the direction it's going. And as I said, it just took me 5 minutes to make this. It all came out of trying to do filter pinging, so pinged percussion, where you make the filter resonate by sending it a quick signal. And this was the track it all started with. Which I think sounds nice and dynamic already. Then I added these drums all on one single track, so I parameter locked different sounds onto different steps. For example, here I've got the kick bed, here I've got the snare bed, and so on and so forth. This is what it sounds like. And then with the original percussion. And all these drums that I've been using apart from the pink percussion are all presets, and some of them are paid for, some of them are free. Definitely check out elektron.se for the free packs for the Analog 4. They are definitely worth it, and it's much quicker to get going making music if you got inspiring presets. Which leads me to the next track, on which I am using some of the, I think, Biopads preset they are called. And they are also on elektron.se. I don't know if they're paid for or not, I don't remember. But they are all really, really good, and that's where I got this chord sound from. Yeah, and these tracks together make this. I think I also tried a lead already recorded here. Oh, that didn't work out, did it? Nah. Anyway. Yeah, you can see how these sounds, they somehow harmonize really well. And of course, it's about the sound selection as well. But I really think that the Analog 4 somehow lends itself to be a self-contained analog groove box. For some people, this amount of tracks will not be enough for sure, and I'm sure that on occasion I would add the octa track, for example, to get some samples in as well. But I think starting out a track on the Analog 4 is really nice and really fun to do, and can lead to interesting results that I usually wouldn't arrive at, because usually my workflow is more focused on sampling. But let's just start with a new pattern maybe, and see how a pattern like this develops. All right, let's try to create some pinged percussion. I'm gonna start with a pulse wave. I think in the example I did it a different way, but there are multiple ways of doing this. I'm gonna start with a pulse wave that just gives me a click so I can send that into the filter. I'm gonna make sure that the oscillator re-triggers each time I trigger it. And now you can hear I'm getting a simple click. So if I put this down as triggers and make them shorter, I just get a click, and that I'm gonna send into the filter and get my filter to be low pass. And of course, I can also play with the level of the click. There are many more things we can do with this, but for now I'm going to make it very easy and just parameter lock a few of the filter frequencies. And that already doesn't sound too bad. Let's hear what it sounds like, maybe with reverb. And chorus. I don't need chorus on this. Alright, we got our pink percussion already. Now I'm gonna make a drum track on track number 4. And in my sound pool, I should already have the drum sounds that are loaded earlier. So these are in the sound pool, and that means I can immediately access these sounds if I hold down a step and turn this encoder. I can place a sound on that step. I'm just gonna copy that for now. And most of these hi-hats are gonna be replaced by other drum sounds anyway, but just to get a feeling for rhythm, I'm gonna place them on all the steps. And now I go about, and of course we need a kick drum on the first one. Maybe a different kick on the first one. I can also play with the velocities of some of the hi-hats, or actually... And I think you can hear how quickly we can make an interesting groove this way that maybe I wouldn't have come up using a normal drum machine where I just select the track and then place down triggers, but instead I place the triggers and then select which sound goes into that place, and also doing this at random, just putting whatever drum sound I have loaded into this sequence. And I think, yeah, I definitely wouldn't have come up with this otherwise. And as you can hear, these drums are thumping properly. Alright, now the way to make this even more interesting and to make the drum track fuller, because right now we only have one sound on each step and they cut each other off. But we can also make them overlap by using the internal reverb and delay. So let's do that. For example, I'm gonna put reverb on the kick drum, which usually I'm not a fan of, but here it makes sense. And you can hear the emphasis on the first beat. Alright, let's do the same for some of the snares maybe. Some chorus. And some delay as well on the last one. And also some other random triggers. Let's go to the effects track and change the delay to be stereo or ping pong. Yeah, that's all right. And even with just these two tracks, somehow I'm feeling the music, you know, whereas sometimes I play around with having already done 6 tracks and it doesn't get any emotion out of me. Yeah, somehow the Analog Four always triggers me in a good way. Alright, let's look for some kind of bass. Or actually, let's look for some chords. Whoa. I'm gonna go with this one for now. But let's edit the envelope. Nice. Let's try to use the effects track as well, which is of course one thing that you can also modulate within the Analog Four. So all the delay, the reverb and the chorus parameters can be parameter locked and affected by LFOs and so on. So first I'm gonna apply a lot of chorus to the filter pinged effect, or the filter pinged sound. And now I'm gonna heavily modulate the chorus. All right. And you can hear, now it already sounds more freaky than before. Anyway, I just wanted to say that I'm vibing with the Analog Four and that I think it's a really fun instrument and I should definitely dedicate more time to this. And I mean, of course, all of this is just scratching the surface. There are so many things you can do with this. Yeah, it's a Groovebox. It's a modular in a box. It's an amazing synthesizer and definitely an amazing instrument. And I think this is going to become a future classic, as they like to say. Yeah, once these are not sold anymore, I think they're going to be sought after. I might have already said that in my past video, but I definitely think so. Yeah, and what more can I say? I wanted to ask, what do you think? Do you prefer the Analog Four drums over the Analog Rhythm? Because I definitely prefer the Analog Four as a drum machine. Somehow I always found the Analog Rhythm, analog drums lacking in some way, and when I make drums with this one here, they always sound right to me. They're really punchy, and as I said, they mix really well together. So let me know what you think. Do you prefer the Analog Rhythm or the Analog Four? Down in the comments. And with that being said, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I would appreciate a like. Ring the bell, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Hope to see you in the next one. Until then, have a wonderful time. Peace.